Hello, theater nerds. Trav here with an experimental celebration for the birthday of the late Helen Hayes, the actress Helen Hayes. Now, if you're my age, you may remember this distinguished actress from movies like Airport and the TV show The Snoop Sisters, in which she co starred with Mildred Natwick and stuff like that. But before that, for many decades, she was regarded as the first lady of the American theater, very well respected actress. And as it happens, my late friend, Mary Lynn Henry, who sadly passed away last year, knew Miss Hayes. She worked with her in a play when she was very young. And then later, when she was a casting director in soap operas, she worked with her in that capacity. So they were friends. And for towards the end of her life, Mary Lynn was working on a one-woman show about Helen Hayes, and it's one of three of Mary Lynn's unfinished projects, which I have been gratefully entrusted with seeing through to completion. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. One of the projects I'm working on is currently for review with a publisher. That's a book that I'm helping to finish. But another is the show about Helen Hayes. And so I wanted to take you a little bit through some of the materials she left just for a little bit of a lark. So here we go. Um, Here, for example, is a program for when she was in Frederick Molnar's The Good Fairy, later adapted by Preston Sturges for the screen. Here's one I really love. This is her with Vincent Price in Victoria Regina. If you're a Vincent Price fan like me, you may know that that was kind of his first really big show, and he might have stayed in England doing that if they had given him right to work paperwork, but they did not, so he had to come back to the States. He was considered a leading man for a while before he kind of became a monster maven in the movies. Some more stuff from Victoria Regina. This is from Sidney Howard's They Knew What They Wanted. Here's her big notebook containing her drafts of the show. I thought this was significant. This was an interview that was done about a year before she passed away. You may or may not know that James MacArthur, the guy who played Dano on Hawaii Five-0, was her son by adoption. So he's one of the children she's talking about. And of course, her husband was the great writer Charles MacArthur. And she was a bit of a writer herself. This is a little piece she wrote, Taking the Curse Off the Classics, which was in Theater Arts magazine in 1953. And most special of all, I think, Mary Lynn left behind interviews that she did. So you can hear her talking on the phone with Helen Hayes, and I think I'll leave you with just a little snatch of that, which I found compelling.
That was the system. And so then they would see everything you did at the contract place, the other directors, and so then they would get so that they would ask for you. But to begin with, my first thing I was assigned to was with Peter Lorre in The Beast with Five Fingers, and I was at his funeral, and I was playing a little maid and crying, and we went to lunch. And I didn't get the whole script, you just got what you were kind of working. And then I came back afterward, and I was serving him lunch, and I couldn't, coming from the theater, I couldn't equate this, how I was at his funeral weeping all morning, and then I come back, and then there I am serving him lunch, and he's alive as can be. I never forget that.
So Peter Lorre and Vincent Price. Okay, so that's it for now. Happy birthday, Helen Hayes, and we miss you, Mary Lynn.